Hello, friends. This is Yusuf. I'm, a, I'm an engineer by educational qualification and a product manager by profession. This is my maiden attempt to engage my friends over product management. And yes, same video Hindi में भी आएगी for my friends who are not very comfortable with English. तो मैं सारी वीडियोस इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों में बनाकर अपलोड करूंगा. You guys might think कि hey, another video on product manager, we have more mentors than mentees, and what's the value addition that this new initiative is going to cause. So I'm not here to give gyan on product management or to throw courses at you or attempt to monetize this. This is just a heart to heart conversation. For me, I'm a product manager in the industry, in the payments industry. I have been a product manager with Paytm for 2.5 years. So all those fancy payments that you do, bhaiya Paytm hai, you take out your mobile and then you pay. I am the one who designed a few of the fancy flows that Paytm has. Obviously, I cannot claim it as my own. You know how things go. Currently, I'm employed as a payments product manager in one of the largest OTT platforms in the world. I haven't made the name public, so yeah, uh, you'll have to wait for some time. This is my first video. Won't be long, but my attempt is to have multiple short videos concentrated on the concepts of becoming a product manager, what to do once you have become a product manager, what are the ways ahead, how do you become a product manager, and so on. This is a maiden attempt, a casual uh, weekday holiday, and let's see if I'm successfully able to keep you guys engaged. I'll come up with more content, otherwise I'll find something else to keep myself engaged over vacations and weekends. So it has been quite some time. I graduated in 2015 from Jamia University, New Delhi. As I informed, I'm an engineer by academic qualification. I've done my BTech in computer engineering there, and you know, I'm sure I'll resonate with most of you, but when you are doing engineering, you don't even know who a product manager is or what product management is. When I used to meet product managers back in my engineering days, it was something which looked like completely unachievable for me. Damn, you are a product manager. How did you achieve that? Is it even remote? Can I be a product manager one day? It's something that we don't talk about, especially graduates. They don't know about becoming a product manager, or the term that manager is associated with it. It typically throws the light on the fact that you need to be an MBA before becoming a product manager. So a typical middle class engineer did my graduation, uh, served the industry as a software engineer, nothing fancy there. And it's then when I realized that what product managers are, what product managers do, why do we even need product managers. So it was during my days at Paytm. So I'll give you a very we'll keep this first conversation very non-technical, right? I'll not go into details of product management or what are the steps of becoming product manager or follow three paths of success to become a product manager. Let's first try to understand, do we even need product manager? It's a relatively new concept here in India, at least. We did not have a lot of product managers back then. And what do they exactly do? It's quite a fancy term these days. Everyone wants to become a product manager. Whenever there's an internal job opening, people look for becoming a product manager. People reach out to me with questions like, hey, I'm not an MBA, can I become a product manager? I'm a physics honors, is it possible for me to become a product manager? Or I'm a software engineer, I'm a QA engineer, is it possible for me to become a product manager? And how do I do that? And when you ask them, why do you want to become a product manager, that is something where they go for a toss, right? So it's very important to understand who a product manager is, what do they do, and do we actually need product managers, right? If you are just a product manager on paper but you are not into product management, life is going to be tough with you, because when you will try to move on to some other company, when you will try to switch in the industry, things are going to be tough for you. So let me quote a very realistic example on why do we need product managers. So I was working with Paytm, and back at that time, Paytm was India's highest valued startup. It was worth around $18 billion, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I was a product manager there in the core team of Paytm. I used to look at payments. Now, just try to understand. I'll give you a very small example. All of you might have shopped on Amazon, right? You select the products, you build your cart, and then you go to the payments page. You complete the payment, and within a day or two, the product arrives. Now let's talk about the payments part. So it's going to be a little technical, but I don't want to teach you payments. That will be a separate module altogether. If any, I can, if I am able to keep you engaged. But let's give me a short example on how it works, right? It's again not a payments class. I'm trying to teach you about product management. So how payments happen over an online merchant. Let's talk about this. Amazon is a merchant, right? Let's forget about the actual merchant who is selling the t-shirts. Let's for a PG integration, for payments integration, let's suppose that Amazon is a merchant, and let's say you complete your payment using your ICICI Bank credit card that has a logo Visa on the bottom right, correct? So Amazon is a merchant, you are a customer. ICICI Bank credit card is a payment instrument. Credit card is a payment method, right? And for the sake of this discussion, let's suppose that Amazon has integrated Paytm, which is a payment gateway. Now, a customer selects credit card as a payment method on the merchant, that is Amazon, takes out his credit card, enters the specific details of that payment method, that's the card number, CVV, expiry, right? Now Amazon is a company that says, hey, we want to sell products, I don't understand payments, right? And Amazon has a right to say, an average Joey who wants to send books, who lives right in the next door, if you want to sell books, you want to sell books, right? He need not be concerned with all the regulations and all the rules that RBI and NPCI keeps on releasing every day. He's like, yeah, I need to sell books, I need to sell clothes, I need to sell cakes. Why do you need to understand payments? And it is then when companies like Paytm, companies like PhonePe, companies like Razorpay, they come up and say, hey, we expert, we have championed this clause and I'll be helping you out in payments. So coming back to the Amazon's example, Amazon said, hey, I want to sell products, I don't care what payments are, and they went to, let's say, Paytm. Now Paytm here is the payment gateway. Now when a customer enters his payment instrument details on the merchant, that is Amazon, the merchant will simply capture these details and will throw it at a payment gateway. Amazon is like, hey dude, this is the payment details, it's your headache to honor the payments. Now Paytm is again a private limited company, right? Paytm cannot directly go and debit your bank account. So the company Paytm is shielded by a bank, which is known as an acquiring bank. So the payment gateway captures the payment details and throw it at the acquiring bank. Now let's say an acquiring bank is something completely which is a payment gateway's ownership, right? We don't need to be concerned with how Paytm or how Razorpay is doing business and what bank have they selected with. For the sake of this discussion, let's say Paytm has partnered with State Bank of India, right? So now these details went to State Bank of India. Now the card that you used, right? Recall the discussion. The card was an ICICI Bank debit card or a credit card, right? Paytm has, let's say, partnered with SBI. Now SBI is like, dude, I don't know whether someone's credit card's credit limit has expired or not, and especially if that credit card is issued by ICICI. SBI says, I don't know. Now what SBI does, it collects all the payment information and throws it at a network. Now you understand what those icons, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Diner, these are card networks. They're also known as channels. Now the acquiring bank will simply capture these details and throw it at the channel, Visa. Now Visa here acts as an intermediate. Visa collects this information and throws it at the issuing. Again, I don't intend to teach you payments, but just bear with me for a couple of more minutes, right? Since this information belong to ICICI Bank, who is the issuing bank. Why? Because it has issued the credit card to you. The information gets thrown to ICICI Bank. Visa sends this information to ICICI Bank, who does some sort of validation, checks whether the card actually belongs to you or not. Is there a validity that remains on the card? Do you have that credit limit? Right? And then the issuing bank sends the information back to channel or a network, that is Visa. Visa then says, hey, yeah, this has been approved. Visa sends this information back to the acquiring bank, Paytm's acquiring bank. Paytm's acquiring bank informs Paytm that the payment has been successful. Paytm will tell Amazon, hey, the payment is successful, the payment has been received, and it's Amazon that shows you a page, hey, order successful. And this happens within a fraction of seconds. Now, coming back to our previous discussion, I hope I was able to make a sense of at least the complexity involved. I don't expect you to understand how payments work in this first video, but I hope you're able to understand the complexity involved, right? Now, again, come back to the example of the $18 billion enterprise. Right? Do you think the person running the show will be able to go and check at each and every nodes, as in where the issue is? Let's say one fine morning the success rates have taken a hit, or the payments are simply not going through. Obviously, the person running the company, obviously he or she needs someone who is completely in command, right? The CEO of Paytm has n number of things to do rather than to understand where the failure is happening. How does he ensures that all these entities communicate with each other, right? And that is where a product manager comes into picture. Now I hope you're able to make a sense of why do we need product managers. Product managers are those individuals, product managers are those entities who are responsible for end-to-end ownership or delivery of the product. Now you might have heard the cliche that product manager is the CEO of the product and all those things, which is often repeated, but it's quite a genuine statement. So now you might wonder, hey, how is it possible for a product manager to make sure that all these things are into place? So I never said becoming a product manager is an easy job, and that too in the payments domain. But I hope now I'm able to make it clear as in what the product manager does. A product manager is responsible for end-to-end delivery. I'm a payments product manager, and if you ask me what exactly my job is, it is this. What I just explained you a couple of minutes ago. I have to make sure that doesn't matter how many components are involved, the payment goes from one end to another, because a person running an $18 billion or a $200 billion company cannot go and look into these nuances of processing a payment. This is true for any product manager, not just for a payments product manager. You have product managers who are into gaming, you have product managers who are into supply chain, you have product managers that look at UI UX, you have product managers for analytics, you have product managers for operations also. So wherever you need one person who is in charge, who is held accountable, right? That person is a product manager. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of becoming a product manager. Why so should you become a product manager? I'm a product manager and I'm a very strong advocate of becoming a product manager, right? Now, why should you become a product manager? I'll talk about the pros, and then I won't say the challenges or cons. Apparently, there are no cons of becoming a product manager, but yeah, what are the few things that you should keep in mind? A product manager is the face of a product. In my previous company, in my previous organizations, I have built and deployed product that have caused an incremental revenue surge of 400 crores, right? And this is incremental, this is not one time. Did I write even a single line of code? No, I didn't. Did I create the design? No, I didn't. Did I do the testings? No, I didn't. Did I market that product? No, I didn't. Then why am I claiming that I created that product? Because the way that product existed in the market, the ideation, the conceptualization, the implementation, the development, the go to market strategy, that is something which I own being a product manager, and I've extensively worked on it. So when I walk down the floor, no one recalls those 50 other folks who worked on the product. But being a product manager, it is me who's the face of it. When I walk down the aisle, when I walk down on the floor, it's my product. It's my baby. People do acknowledge that, hey, it was Yusuf who built that product, who got us some awesome returns. Actually, there are a group of 50 people who worked on it day and night. But understand it this way. Anyone who has built Facebook, the engineers who have built Facebook, right? They can build any other app. But why Facebook exists the way it does? Because there was someone who did a lot of analysis and came out saying, hey, this is the right way of doing it. And this is what a product manager does. We don't doubt the capability of other folks who build that product. People who have built things like Tesla, things like SpaceX, Facebook, Twitter, they have the capability to build anything. But why Twitter exists the way it does? Why Tesla exists the way it does? Because there's someone who has convinced the stakeholders, who has convinced the management that this is the right way of doing it. And that guy is known as the product manager. So you have that strong sense of ownership when you become a product manager and you become a face of that product, right? So this is something which the feeling of being accountable for delivering something that has caused a dent, right? That in itself is very rewarding, right? The other benefit of becoming a product manager is you have a relatively higher job security. Now understand it this way. Let's say Yusuf is a product manager who is leading a team of, let's say, 50 people, right? If I'm a good product manager, with the attitude of getting things done, right, I'll be able to lead a team of 30 people delivering the same result. Why? Because I, being a product manager, should know how to navigate. So when the company looks to lay off people, right, there are very less likely chances of a product manager being laid off. Why? Because if the product manager has the capability, if the product manager has the capability to deliver the product, he or she will be able to do that with a limited or a restricted set of people, right? But when you remove the product manager from the chair, doesn't matter there are 50 people or there are 500 people. If there is no correct guidance, if the other person is not able to assist others to navigate, right, the purpose is defeated. It doesn't matter how big or small the company is, but if the person giving the direction is not right, things will drown. So that is why I would say during normal days, not talking about recessions or tremendous downsizing happening across the globe, but during normal days, it's quite unlikely that a product manager's role is going to be reduced, and the number of product managers in any given company, they are substantially lower than the other teammates, right? So that is why the job is pretty secure. And the salary, the remuneration, that's something which all of us are very motivated with, is higher. Why? Because the industry pays for only one thing, that is the ability to take decisions, right? I won't be taking or quoting the names of the domains, but there are very few specific domains that get impacted whenever a company thinks of layoff, right? There's a hierarchy. First, members of this division or this team, then this team, then this team, and if things don't improve, then members from this team will be removed, right? So what is the criteria? What is the criteria that impacts the decision, right, to lay off? It's simply the ability to take decisions, right? Why the CEO or the MD or the VP of your company is highly paid, or their highest paid resources than you or any other person, any other colleague? Because the people sitting at the top, they have the ability to take decisions, right? And making right decisions means the fortunes can be turned either ways. right? So the industry only pays you if you have the ability to take decisions. And a role of the product manager by default is to take decisions, right? So that is why the remuneration, the salary, to put it easier, is higher for a product manager than for any, or let's say most of the domains in the market. Why? Because we have the ability to take decisions. Trust me, if the product is ready, if the feature is ready, at the 11th hour, a product manager can simply say, no, this is not something which I'm going to approve, and the feature will not go live. This is the kind of authority, this is the kind of decision making ability that the industry has bestowed on us. There are repercussions for that, right? I'm not saying that you can just walk away by not letting a feature go live, but we'll talk about it in other videos if you guys are interested. So this is what becoming a product manager is. It's already 21 minutes. I think I've exceeded what I planned, but if it interests you, do let me know. I'll try to keep other videos shorter, crisper, so that we concentrate on a single topic rather than making videos an hour long. I'll prefer to come up with 4 different videos for 15 minutes each. If you have any open questions, do put it down in the comment section. If you know anyone who's looking to venture into product management, do share this video. If you like, subscribe this. The only indicator for me to know that you guys are interested, so I'll continue coming up with more videos like this. It was nice speaking my heart out. I'll try to upload one in Hindi also, for those folks who are not very comfortable in English. And till then, yeah, help me out thinking for a new different topic what you would like to hear upon. This was a generic discussion. I feel relieved talking my heart out. Thank you for being a patient audience. So take care.